Fear in birth. Oh my goodness, it's such a big thing, isn't it? Whenever we think about birthing, quite often fears will bubble up from within, and when a woman falls pregnant, it can just be so overwhelming. And so I wanted to talk to you today about where some of these sources of fear reside, and when you start to examine your own life and the different conversations you're having and the things you're watching and the places you're going and the choices that you're making with regards to planning and preparing for your birthing day, you can start to choose them based on creating a birthing experience that is your own, not reacting from other people's fears that you have just picked up along the way somewhere. So conversations that you have had in the past are often a big source of fear, whether it's talking to your own mother about her birthing experiences with you or your brothers or sisters, or maybe it's talking to good friends or perhaps people that you don't even know very well. So often stories about how traumatic and painful and terrible birthing are what is shared with regards to birth. We live in a society that really shares trauma and drama, and the way our brains work as well, we do tend to remember the negative as a survival reflex rather than focusing on the positive and the good things that we hear, because there are so many amazing things about birth, but what sticks is unfortunately the fear-based things. So conversations with others, hearing other people's birthing experiences. Perhaps it's an innate memory of your own birthing experience if the way you came into the world wasn't as comfortable and easeful as perhaps your own mother would have liked it. Because we do, at a deep subconscious level, often retain our own memories of our own birthing experiences, and we carry them through with us, and when birth becomes very real for us, they will sometimes bubble up from that subconscious and manifest in ways that do feel very, it makes us feel anxious, and they're very fear-based. So movies, Hollywood has not done any favors for birth at all. Drama and trauma, it's the only thing that really sells when it comes to TV shows and Hollywood movies. So very rarely do we see natural, calm, gentle examples of birth because, well, to be honest, it's really not exciting viewing. It's pretty boring. And so it's just not what's commonly shared. Birthing environments play a huge role in how a woman feels. Sometimes for women, when they go into a hospital environment, they will smell the smells and be in the bright lights and see all the machines and the doctors and nurses in the uniforms, and that can put some women into a state of feeling quite disempowered, like now she has to hand over all of the decisions that she's making with regards to her birthing and how it's all unfolding. Birthing environment doesn't have to play that role, but you know, really start to think about where are you going to be feeling the most supported, the most safe, and the most free to just release all inhibitions when it comes to birth. For some women, that is the birth, that is hospital. So I'm definitely not saying what's right or wrong for you, but great time to just start to explore some of these options for yourself. And so another source of fear is the language that's used around birth. Often the words that are used, sometimes by medical staff, but also just common words that are used around birth. You know, labor pains is a common one, or being asked to measure pain scales during birthing. There is so much talk of pain and birth that it really, you know, it's become understood as a rite of passage that mother has to experience this painful, traumatic birthing as her rite of passage to motherhood. It's complete rubbish. You do not need to experience pain to justify your rights to become a mother at all. Some women do, but it's not your rite of passage. You can become a mother in the most gentle, nourishing, beautiful, calm way. And I've created an online course, the Natural Birth Toolbox, and it shares amazing techniques so you can work with your body, come into trust with your body and your baby, and really work with your body's natural design to birth your baby easily and gently. You'll find a link to that course if you're interested somewhere around this video, depending on where you're watching it. So start to become aware of some of the places where perhaps it's not a positive influence for you around birth. Some of the places that when you start to, watch those movies or talk to those people, it brings up anxious feelings for you, or you might just straight out know that that is not a great influence for you for birth. When you start to consciously choose what you're exposing yourself to as you head towards the day of your baby's birth, you will start to feel more in control yourself. You'll start to feel more empowered because you're making the choices as to how you are growing yourself mentally and emotionally in preparation for your baby's birth. And you can start to listen to that intuition and come into a deeper trust and a knowing that you can follow your body's perfect design. So other doors will open up for you when you're not just held in the grips of fear. And so much of that is about how we are just navigating through our pregnancy, what we're exposing ourselves to, the decisions we're making. You'll find as you start to change those things bit by bit, other doors will open for you and new opportunities will appear, new people that will support you in the most beautiful ways. When you start to just make these changes and these choices one by one, day by day,